Well, as the population ages, more Australians are losing their hearing. But thanks to an Australian modern marvel, the cochlear implant, it's a loss that can often be recovered at almost any age. Just ask David Archer. Tracy Bowden reports.
David Archer is a busy man. Every weekday from 9 till 5, this is where you'll find him, in the workshop at his retirement village on the outskirts of Sydney. At 91, he still has a dream.
You have to do something with your life. It has to be worthwhile living. You know what I mean? If it's not productive, what's the use of being here?
You got it? Right.
After his wife died 6 years ago, David Archer needed a project, and this is it. He calls it the Archer Diamond, built from scratch.
That's it. Came to me just as a hand-drawn plans and just a whole lot of metal. And that was it. Now, there we go.
Today, as the plane nears completion, 4 generations of the family are here to take a look.
The single seater is a nice and tight one. I bet in tighter one.
David Archer's love of flying goes back a long way. As a young man, he joined the Air Force, hoping to be a pilot.
Now, when it came to the test for hearing, they found this here was quite good. When they got there was a slight drop in it. I was kicked out.
Instead, David Archer joined the ground staff and learnt all about the mechanics of planes. Later in life, as a civilian, he did get a pilot's licence, but as his hearing worsened, he had to face facts.
Gradually, I could realise that I couldn't hear the other aircraft properly, couldn't hear the thing. I was guessing at what they were saying, so I stopped flying.
You don't want to run into another aeroplane.
In recent years, the family noticed this gregarious father, grandfather and great-grandfather changing.
His hearing had deteriorated to the stage where it was so difficult for him, he was actually giving up keeping in social contact with people.
The biggest thing was at family dinners. For me, that's where we would see him the most, and I guess he'd be very quiet and feel like he's off to the side.
So, how are you going?
No, I'm well, thank you, dear.
Yeah.
But then David Archer discovered he was a candidate for cochlear implants.
After the implant, it's as if a switch had been flicked. He was back to who he was supposed to be. Raring to go, nothing will stop him. And he came back to life. And we see this very often.
Yes?
David Archer's audiologist Monica Bray says people wrongly assume that cochlear implants are only for younger people.
The average age is 75, and people in their 90s are coming for assessments and having implants. So age is absolutely not something that precludes anybody from having a cochlear implant nowadays.
There we are. Does he look like a pilot now?
Now he can hear air traffic control loud and clear.
Bravo Romeo, you're about to be joined in the circuit with another Robbie 22.
It's great to be able to carry on conversations with him and see him confident in what he's doing. Even seeing him be able to interact with the kids in a way that he couldn't do before.
Yes, I promise. I promise. He's smiling.
Yeah. David Archer reckons his plane will be finished by Christmas. His ultimate dream is to fly medical supplies to people in the bush. But first, he just wants to once again take to the skies. David, have you thought about what it's going to be like that day when you're on the tarmac, getting ready to go on the first flight?
I'll be that excited. You can just imagine flying my own aircraft, taking it off, testing it.
Some people might think a 91-year-old man to build a plane and then fly it himself is crazy.
Well, they might be right too.
Tracy Bowden reporting.